candle makers, thanks for joining us for another candle making session. With this session we're actually going to learn how to use the wood wicks. We get a lot of questions about why people prefer wood wicks over the cotton wicks. One, it's a different kind of wick, it burns differently, it doesn't need trimming, it does crackle like an open fire, and that's some of the reasons people use them. The other reason is if you have a really big jar, a wide jar where cotton wick just won't do, you may need to use multiple cotton wicks. The wood wicks are an alternative to using multiple wicks. I've cleaned my jar, I've given it a spray with alcohol and wiped it clean. It's dust free. We've got our double wood wick here. It's got 2 layers of wood stuck together, great for soy wax. The thing you have to remember with these wood wicks is they're unprimed. There is no coating of wax on them like we have on the cotton wicks. So if you don't prime them, it means the first lighting of your candle is going to be really difficult. So you need to prime it, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. You can see I've drawn a template so I can actually center my wick. Once you've done a few of these, you won't worry about the template, but it's good when you're starting off to actually have some kind of guidance. I've got my clip. So I've actually pushed my wood wick into the clip. I've put the sticker on the bottom. So all I need to do is peel off that sticker and position my wick in the middle of the jar. Now, because it is a wood wick, you don't need to secure it in any way, but it is a long wick, so you do need to trim, either now or later when your candle sets. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to trim it now above the level of the jar. So there we go. If it's a really wide wood wick, what I recommend is cutting it one way and then come in from the other side so you don't snap your wick. So that's your wick ready to go in your jar. There's one here that I've actually poured earlier, so there's that one sitting nicely. Now what we need to do with this wick to prime it is pour our wax over the wick when we fill our jar. So I've prepared my wax here, I've got my candle wax ready to go, I've added my fragrance at 6%. And we're going to fill our jar by pouring over the wick. And this is going to saturate the wick so that when you light it for the first time, it already has its fuel ready to burn. If you don't prime it, you're going to find that first lighting is really difficult because it has no fuel. It's basically like a match. It'll light, but then it fizzles out. This is what happens with the wood wicks because there's no fuel until the candle actually starts melting, and the wick can actually suck up all the wax and fragrance. So by doing it this way and soaking it, it has ready-made fuel. So as soon as you light it, it'll actually catch and it'll stay lit. It won't keep going out. So I'm just slowly pouring my wax into it, and this is going to set nicely. So there we go. We've now primed our wick, and that's basically all it means, is that we've actually soaked our wick with the wax. Now if your wick is slightly off center, you can actually move it around in the holder until you actually get it level. So these will set nicely. We'll do a test burn as soon as they set. Thank you.